Throughout the drive, turkeys from the donation bin are continuously taken outside into a truck. And Freedy says it is the positive response from the community that makes it all happen. In the floating bridge exercise, the students help each other make it across a bridge without touching the floor. And it's not as easy as it looks. Thanks, guys. Weiss says both cats and dogs can get frostbite, and the way to check is to look at their paws. Sorrell says he drives his car mostly in the spring and summer months, but he says today is warm enough to take a ride. Smith says many of the cases are never reported because the driver's priority is the safety of the students rather than catching an offender. In the last step with the small socks, the volunteers glue on sequins, so every design is unique. Anissa, that project includes about $160,000 for a new fire sprinkler system. A fire at the shelter several years ago made employees more conscious about fire safety. Kelly Goodwin McBride, executive director of the YWCA, says 2 years ago a grease fire in the shelter's kitchen gave her quite a scare.
There was a lot of smoke in the house. I got a phone call at home from the alarm company stating that there was a fire confirmed, and I just know how panicked I felt driving here and knowing how old the building is and not knowing how severe the fire was.
The building didn't have a fire sprinkler system, but firefighters put out the fire and there was only smoke damage to the walls. Helena Fire Marshal Craig Trapp says the sprinkler system to be installed at the shelter could remedy a fire even before help arrives and possibly save lives.
You can think of a sprinkler as being basically a firefighter that's always there. It's always on guard, and when it heats up to a certain point, it will extinguish or mitigate that fire with a little amount of water. This building has multiple floors, and it'll allow the occupants to have the time to escape a fire.
The building does have other fire safety measures like this fire escape, but McBride says the residents didn't need to use it during the fire. The building also currently has smoke detectors, fire extinguishers, and an alarm. Even though the sprinklers will make the YWCA safer, there's another reason McBride is looking forward to having them installed: more space for residents.
There's a lot of things we could do down in the basement, but until we have those sprinklers, we can't do anything.
McBride says the basement is used for classes but cannot be used as a shelter space until it is up to fire code with sprinklers. Anissa? It may look like Santa's workshop, but it's actually the sock sew that Arlene Matthews runs every year at St. Peter's Hospital. The goal is to create roughly 70 stockings for December newborns and another 70 for hospital patients staying overnight on Christmas Eve.
This is the sock the baby goes home in the month of December, and they stuff the little rascal right in there.
The volunteers create the stockings in an assembly line style.
We have those ladies who do the cutting out all the patterns of the Christmas tree and the socks. And then we have our sewers.
Right now we're sewing the trim on the front of the stocking. And my friend Nan is sewing the stocking together for the baby.
In the last step with the small socks, the volunteers glue on sequins, so every design is unique.
It's Santa's workshop, and we're so delighted to be able to participate.
And I appreciate the ladies that come so much.
Matthews also says this year the event had half as many volunteers as last year with a dozen, but the work is still well worth it. Luba Solonenko, Beartooth NBC. Anissa, in 2009, the SNAP program received a boost in funding from the American Recovery Reinvestment Act. That funding has now expired, affecting about 9,000 people in Lewis and Clark County. John McCumbers found out his SNAP benefits were decreased after checking the balance on his benefits card.
I used to receive $57, now they reduced it to $21 a month. I was a little upset, yeah. Because the holidays are coming up and you gotta buy gifts and all that. Now you gotta worry about buying food.
McCumber says he may be relying more on the Helena Food Share for assistance. Workers there say they expect the number of visitors to increase in the future.
With each decrease in federal support for programs offered to local community members, Helena Food Share has experienced increases in the number of households, the number of families with children, the numbers of individuals coming in to ask for food assistance.
Across the state, the food stamp program will lose $13 million over the next 11 months. Officials with SNAP say that may negatively affect the economy.
For every dollar in SNAP, it generates $1.70 in economic activity.
McCumber says he doesn't have a plan for how to make up for the lower balance on his benefits card, but he is thankful for the help he receives from the Helena Food Share.
Just try and get stuff together. I had to put down payment for my place, my apartment, and different things like that. So I don't know, just try and make ends meet. Food shares helped me quite a bit as far as in food and stuff. So it's a pretty good program.
SNAP officials say families in the program will see their benefits decrease by about $10 a month per household member. Anissa?
Today it's just another reminder that freedom does not come without a tremendous price, as we remember those who have given their lives for our country.
It's a feeling that I have in my heart. We have to honor those that have gone before.
Stand, one nation. God.
I'm honoring my husband, who was buried here in 2004.
Anissa, while the town is asleep, private snowplowers are working as early as 4 a.m., clearing the roads. Ron White, owner of White's Plowing, says his last name is just a coincidence to his job, but it certainly fits his personality.
I really like snow. I like storms. I'm a snowboarder and stuff.
The plow blades on his truck come out of storage in time for the first snowfall every year to help Helena run more smoothly.
Over the course of winter, I'll hire someone like Ron to come up maybe 5 times. Typically, to get to work, we just drive out no matter how much the snow is here, and then it's usually we get home if it's been plowed, and otherwise we may not drive up the driveway.
White says work that may take half a day with a snow shovel can take as little as 15 minutes with a plow truck.
That's the advantage of the snowplow. It moves the snow off to the side pretty fast.
And sometimes it's not just snow the truck is plowing.
I found hats. I've rolled up little remains of a party once in a parking lot. Somebody obviously stopped and had a little party in the parking lot. Things that people lose in a storm or fall off of a vehicle.
White says the blades are precise enough to plow snow close to curbs, but that the truck is not immune to sliding.
You're on snow and ice, so every once in a while you slip a little bit, or the truck slides, or you lose traction when you're pushing.
That's just part of the job.
There's something about being out in the morning before everybody's up, and there's, good 4 or 5 inches of snow is falling. Everything just looks really great.
White says the blades on his truck are 7 feet wide when folded in, and drivers should be cautious when sharing the road. Anissa? We'll speak to the folks at the Montana State Firemen's Association on the case of a stolen fire hydrant. That's coming up next on Beartooth NBC. Folks from the Turkey Challenge benefiting Helena Food Share say this year the drive will help more people than ever before. That's coming up next on Beartooth NBC.